Welcome to the High Vibe Soul Podcast, a space where we discuss personal growth, spirituality, motherhood, relationships, and shifting old paradigms so that you can live your most authentic, soul-aligned life. I'm your host, Lyndsey, and I founded the High Vibe Soul Company to empower women and support them in becoming their highest, brightest selves. From my light to yours, I am so grateful you're here. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is your February energy update. It's different than I expected. I was just meditating on the energy of February specifically for anyone who's listening to this podcast. I've called in your higher selves, your angels, your guides of light. Gang's all here. And yeah, it's different than I expected, but all good things. We'll just get straight into it. So as I was meditating on the energy, the first thing I asked was kind of like, what's the theme? And I heard emergence. And I saw this image of like a little tiny green, I don't even know, maybe a tulip slowly emerging out of melting snow. Like a little plant slowly waking up, just sprouting. And they said that's how you might feel this month. It's not going to be a jump into the year of the fire horse, which everyone is talking about and energizing that. Great. That doesn't start till February 17th. But this is still going to be finishing up the last little bits of the year of the snake. You may feel a little dazed, like you're just waking up from a dream, kind of towards the end of the month, maybe mid-month. Like, whew, these last few months, this last year, even just January and beginning of February, that was a lot. And that's perfectly normal. They also showed me the image of a child spinning in circles and just going round and round and round. And then they finally stop and they're laying on the ground and they're looking up, just like trying to get their bearings again. You might feel like that a little bit this month. Again, all okay. You're going to have more clarity for sure by, it feels like mid to end of this month. You're going to be really clear on, okay, this is where I'm going. And this is what's not coming with me. And it's really going to feel like your new year in a lot of ways. This month is also, they were reminding me right as I was hitting record, they're like, eclipse. Apparently there's an eclipse this month. And I just Googled when is the eclipse. It actually starts on February 17th, which is the Chinese New Year for the year of the fire horse as well. And it's a ring of fire solar eclipse. I didn't dive into it, but it sounds really fascinating. We all know how eclipse season can be. It can be a lot of ups and downs and crazy changes. It can also, depending where it hits in your astrology chart, it can also just be very like minimal turbulence, minimal changes. It just really depends. But I just had to highlight that because that was coming in hot as I was hitting record. Expression feels really big in general this month. Saying the thing you've been wanting to say. It feels like you're not going to be able to hold back anymore. You're not going to be able to censor yourself maybe the way that you have been. It feels like you might have an overdue conversation that you've been thinking about and just need to have. It really just feels like you're going to be stepping into a new way of communicating in general going forward, a more straightforward communication, maybe more bold, maybe a little more brazen. It just feels like communication is going to be huge this month. This is a 3-month in numerology. So in general, 3s are creativity, self-expression, social, joy, optimism. I do feel like there's going to be some of you who are really feeling super optimistic by the end of this month. I think there's others of you where you're going to have to kind of pull yourself into that mindset and pull yourself away from the mind chatter and whatever's going on in the world. You may need a bit of time this month to just recalibrate when you feel like things are kind of slowing down after all of this like healing and shedding and releasing, just give yourself some space to recalibrate and integrate whatever has happened, whatever's been going on. Journal about it. That's always my favorite way to really integrate and understand. So that's what I have for you for my meditation. Now let's get into the cards. I just pulled these and I have not read them yet. First, I asked, what are your themes for February? And I've got the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, one of my top favorites by Colette Baron Reed. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. Snake Spirit, time to heal. I do feel intuitively that there is going to be still some shedding and releasing and the final bits of the snake. I don't know how your January went, but January was intense for me. And it was intense for a lot of people I know. There was so much shifting, changing, like awarenesses bubbling to the surface of how things need to change in order to move forward with my highest path, with a lot of people that I know, their highest paths, my clients. So if you were in that, you're not alone. I think, yeah, it seems like we're going to be going through that just a bit more, just like the final squeeze of the year of the snake. Let's read this card. Snake Spirit, time to heal. All of us need healing at times, and when Snake Spirit appears, it is time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself the space to nourish your own well-being. Okay, this kind of goes with the recalibration that was just coming up. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself, shed the past, step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising in you. This might also be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you. Celebrate how far you have come in your healing journey. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, and well-being, and open the door for healing to occur. So it feels like it's twofold. This makes sense. So it's not just about continuing to shed and release. It's also really integrating this last year that we've been through. Next card. I feel like we've gotten this 2 or 3 months in a row. Clear out the clutter, Frog Spirit. This card is all about clearing out. It could be physical clutter, but it really feels like mind, emotional clutter for a lot of you. So again, journaling is going to be huge, meditation, any sort of mindfulness practice where you can really take that time to integrate your experiences. If you haven't already, think about, what am I bringing forward with me and what am I letting go of permanently, and how am I going to really honor my boundaries and honor these shifts and changes that have happened and continue on my highest path, because it can be so easy to slip back into the way we've always done things. Next card. Okay, this feels like later in the month for sure, but Badger Spirit. Be fearless and bold. Let's read this one. Badger Spirit rejoices at your persistence and commitment to what is true for you. Whatever you seek, your tenacity and faith in your partnership with Spirit is paying off, and the results will soon coalesce into form in your world. Take a risk now. Be courageous, fearless, and bold, and it will yield wondrous results. This is a time to harness your will and apply it consistently to the pursuit of your dreams. Know that no matter the temporary outer conditions, you will manifest your desires in divine timing and in the form best for you. You have what it takes. Be fearless and bold. Shine your light as your purpose calls you into the world. Relationships are also given a green light now. Don't be afraid to make the first move. Oh, that's a lovely card. Very exciting. And I definitely am feeling that bold kind of energy coming in. I'm curious what this new moon, I'd be curious to know the astrology behind everything, because it's just not my wheelhouse. I have to look into that. Okay, so next cards. What are the challenges that the listeners may face this month? And again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We got 4 cards, and I haven't looked at this deck in a while. It's the Oracle of the 7 Energies. So the first card is Wish Upon a Star. Key concepts here are intentions based on your desires and aspirations, the act of consciously committing to a vision, Sacrificing something of value, gambling on yourself, trusting that your dreams can become reality. The importance of daydreams. Do you believe your dreams can become real, or do you shrug them off and chide yourself for being unrealistic? What if you could trust that the world around you holds promise and that has not yet been realized? Perhaps the point all along is not how something can happen, but the power of wishing and intending. Think of a wishing well as you infuse a coin with your intention, tuning into the feeling of having a particular experience. Tossing the coin symbolizes the act of letting go and allowing the universe to do its part in this co-creative partnership. Today, allow yourself to dream and play with different realities, even if it seems impossible. If it calls you and it feels good, why not choose it? Don't forget the act of wishing, dreaming, and intending is much more important than figuring out the how. The answer will come, sometimes swiftly, sometimes slowly. No wish is ever wasted. Okay, so one of your potential challenges is feeling like, why would things be different this year? Why is my life going to change? Maybe you're even feeling like you've listened to my energy updates and you've listened to the 2026 energy update. And that was a huge theme, is that this year is completely different. The energy is completely different. What you can manifest now, what you can create. There's so many new doors and new opportunities for you this year, but do you believe it? So that's your challenge. Next card, Beyond the Ordinary. I love whoever this artist is, so gorgeous. The mystical part of life, trusting in the invisible world without understanding it, recognizing some things cannot be known in advance and are not meant to be grasped intellectually, the awareness that everything is as it should be, even if it doesn't make sense. So this card is all about the spiritual realm. This card is all about the spiritual realm, the quantum reality, called by some the great mystery. When you want to know what is to come, the nature of something, or where you're heading, it's natural to turn to a trusted oracle and expect some kind of answer that will inform your view of how things are, might be, or should be. Sometimes this is not possible because things may still be in flux or are not yet in place, or maybe you're never meant to know. This is the time to surrender to not knowing. The mystery is a mystery because at present it is unknowable and unmade. Even its potential may be impossible to understand. What is waiting for you lies beyond the ordinary, but has not yet chosen its shape, its path, and the manner by which it will be delivered. Your job now is to stay the course, allowing whatever comes to be exactly as it will, without trying to ascertain anything in advance. Ooh, that's hard. It's really hard not knowing what's coming. I really struggle with being in the in-between and not having the answers. It's definitely something I'm personally working on. So I have so much compassion if that's something you struggle with as well. It seems like a lot of you might have that challenge this month. So just remember this card. Okay, the next challenge that came up was feeling the world. And if you're listening, you are probably a super empath like me. I completely get that. Sensitivity to the feelings of others, awareness of the whole world in a broader perception, empathy, overload, and overwhelm. There is a lot going on in the world right now. It is intense. It's not an easy time. So self-care is of the utmost importance. And I just feel called to say, it's okay to unplug. It's okay to take 3 days off from reading all your emails and social media and having no idea what's going on in the world. We were never meant to know every little thing. We were never meant to, certainly I don't watch any of the videos and the things that are coming out right now because it's just, we're not meant to see all that. A lot of you listening, I feel, are probably similar to me where you're not meant to dive into the darkness. You're meant to hold the light and be the light and be like a lighthouse for other people. So do what you can to protect that. Yes, do you want to be educated on what's going on in the world? Of course. And how can we help? Whatever we can do. But you don't need to spend 2 hours diving into it at night before bed. So that's my little PSA. Okay, going back to the card. Empathy reminds you you're not alone. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity of all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. It can also be overwhelming when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. Practice saying no, trust your instincts, take care of you, avoid the temptation to go numb, instead be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. It's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you. Use discernment, be firm yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and it's important. It just has to be balanced in order for you to access its wondrous gifts and that of others. This is coming up now from the angels. I did a 1-hour course. It's Empath Energy Care for the High Vibe family. I think that's what I named it. It was a long title. It's on my website. I'm going to link it in the show notes. This is everything you could possibly need to understand how to energetically protect your boundaries, clear your energy. You don't have to be an energy healer. I teach you all the tips and tricks. You can use all this with your kids. There's so much information. This course should be like triple the cost of what it is. I want to say it's $47. It's a steal. And then I include, I think 8 or 10 guided meditations that help with the energy piece as well, that you can just hit play, put on in the background. You don't even have to fully listen, but really, really good for clearing your energy continuously. This is a non-negotiable. If you are an empath or someone who identifies as being energetically sensitive, honestly, even if you don't, like everybody should be doing this. We should be teaching this in school, in my opinion. So I will link that in the show notes. Last card, let's see here. Ears wide open. Again, potential challenge. Key concepts: deep listening as a gift we give to others, understanding someone else's needs, showing focused attention, tuning into another, and letting go of the ego's need to be heard. The world is constantly speaking to us and offering clues about what is really going on beneath the surface. We all have the capacity to hear beyond the noise that reaches our ears. The challenge is when we feel misunderstood and unheard. When we feel insignificant, it's easy to over-explain ourselves in an attempt to get acknowledged. Now is the time to let that go. Offer your attention as the great gift it is. Stop multitasking, checking your phone, thinking of what you're going to say next, and doing all the other things that keep you from connecting fully. Deep listening is the way in which we immerse ourselves in the truth of the world. In this way, with ears wide open, we also open our hearts and minds to understand more than what is conveyed through words. Opportunities arise from the subtle cues. Purposeful, open listening is an act of true respect and intimacy. When you are in this space of receptivity, letting go of the need to be heard or be right, you become expansive and alert to meaningful potential. Okay, deep listening, being fully present might be a challenge this month, but you can do it. Next is opportunities. What are the opportunities? I stuck with this deck. And let's see, 4 cards. Oh no, 5 cards. Wow. Popped out. The first one, let it go. Back to the year of the snake, guys. We're almost through it. Oh, okay. Let it go. Forgiveness, healing resentment, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story, releasing pain so you can move into the lesson it offers, and relinquishing the need to be right. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So that is one of your opportunities for this month. The next one is time machine. Inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, honoring the past without being trapped there. Okay, this is all about moving on from the past, but also really understanding your past story. So look to the past for answers now. Ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who came before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? What might I do differently? Perhaps you couldn't see you were repeating a pattern until you were well in it. The best course of action is to rest, practice self-compassion, and make a conscious choice to do something differently. Next time, clarity will come. History repeats itself only if you allow it. The most important thing is you are becoming aware. You can make a different choice regarding how you respond to life now. Okay, so that's a great opportunity for you. And that really feels like just an opportunity for this whole new cycle. I mean, it's not just a new year, it's a whole new 9-year cycle that we're stepping into. The next opportunity, burst of magic. An epiphany, a sudden higher knowing, a sense that everything has a purpose, your purpose as a gift bestowed upon you, cultivating conscious contact with your higher power, coming to know what calls to you and lights you up. This is so funny because I recorded a Discovering Your Purpose Outside of Motherhood episode back in October or November. It was a long time ago. And I was not feeling the nudge to release it for some reason. It was all edited, ready to go. And then just this week, my divine team's like, yep, release it, send it out. It feels like a lot of people are going to be exploring their purpose, exploring maybe a new career path, or just what's calling them, what would light them up, what would get them excited, exploring new ways of being creative, even opening new businesses. But the episode is all about how I discovered my purpose over time and how it unfolded and how my career path and my motherhood journey, it's all intertwined. And I share how you can too. So I highly recommend listening to that episode I just released last week if this is something that's calling you. And this card is also about just epiphanies and, like I said, clarity, information popping up out of the blue. A lot of times we receive intuitive insight and signs and synchronicities and we brush it off like, oh, no, that can't be it. No, that's it. I highly recommend creating a note section in your phone for any little signs, synchronicities, thoughts, anything that feels like an intuitive nudge or a pull, anything that catches your attention. Start creating a note section in your phone and just see how it all weaves together, and there might be something there for you. The answers you seek come when you stop looking for them. Okay, that's exciting. So clarity, it seems like clarity is going to come in not a mental way, it's going to come in an intuitive, maybe random way, seemingly random way. The next card for your opportunity, a powerful move. Action, movement with purpose, effort, putting into motion your intention, making choices from an empowered and thoughtful place, positive change. The time for rest is over. Okay, again, this feels like later in the month. I'm just going to preface that, but you might start feeling these urges sooner than later. But to me, this feels like mid to end of the month. The time for rest is over. Change is in the air. This is a powerful time when deliberate action is needed to move your intentions out of the realm of thought and into the material, from ideas into actions. This is so interesting because if you remember the January update, there was a lot of emphasis on daydreaming and visioning and energizing your intentions. And now this makes so much sense. So your next step, now taking the aligned action. It could be something really, really small. It could be a big action. It could be a big leap, but it could just be calling that person that you've been meaning to call, or writing that email that you've been meaning to write. I don't know. It could be something very, very small. It could be something big. You are a mighty co-creator, so step into that power. See your intentions manifest in the world. Real positive change is possible when you make choices from an authentic sense of self and take a conscious step toward your dreams. Excited for you. Okay. And then the last opportunity, the storyteller. I do not know what this one is. Let's see. Identity, positive self-definition, teaching others how to treat you through the stories you tell about who you are. Do you know the story you tell others about who you are? You are a unique being with unique talents and a story unique to your experience. If there's anything in your life you want to change, it's time to adjust the story you tell about yourself. Perhaps you are too self-deprecating or apologetic about how you shine, minimizing your power so others will accept you. Perhaps the way you voice your expectations diminishes your ability to succeed, or you are too willing to tolerate a less than supportive environment. Understand that you teach people how to treat you through how you talk about yourself, and you can always choose a new story. What if you could connect to your true power as a co-creator of your reality, the story of how you think, your conditioning, your past experiences, how you view the world? Practice speaking of your amazing success, your overflowing abundance, and all the love that surrounds you, and soon the outer world will tell the same story back to you. I've been thinking about this a lot with women in general, and just how so many women like over-explain because they're worried about being misunderstood, or apologize for things that don't matter, like things that you shouldn't be apologizing for. I was in prenatal yoga the other day, and the instructor was like, does everyone have water? There was one woman that forgot. Instead of being like, oh yes, I'd like a water when the instructor offered, she was just like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I forgot my water. I'm so sorry. And it's like, no, first off, it's your body. If you don't need water, it's okay. And second, you don't need to apologize for not having water. Like, what? She made this huge deal about it. And then the whole class, she was like, I'm sorry, I can't get into the pose. Haven't done yoga in years. And she kept apologizing. And I wanted to just be like, lady, please stop apologizing for things that don't matter. But that it's just an example of how she probably is living her life. She's always apologizing for things that don't matter. And it's just lack of self-confidence, and there's people pleasing involved and all of it, right? It's just huge. It's rampant with women, and we've got to stop doing that. We've got to stop doing that. We've got to be more direct. We've got to say what we mean and mean what we say, and stop over-explaining and stop apologizing for things that don't matter. And yeah, that's my little pregnancy rant on that. Okay, last cards. I'm excited to see these. This is the potential outcome. Where are we going by the end of February? What's the potential outcome of all of this? And the first card, I love this one, empowerment. How funny. This card is about being empowered. It's also about taking action to help people and taking action to remove any difficulties in your life. But it says, be receptive to guidance from wherever it happens to come. Be alert to seemingly random input, which will give you clues and ideas that had not occurred to you earlier. Be receptive to signs, and don't be surprised to receive support from unusual avenues. I mean, what were we just talking about? So this is more confirmation of that. Pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, all the little nudges this month. The potential for these to pay off is immense. Once you've picked up on these signs, pursue them diligently with determination. As soon as you know what action to take, take it. Next card, adventure. I believe this one is about travel, if anyone's been thinking about traveling. Oh, okay. It is an excellent time to take a short jaunt to anywhere that inspires you. If you enjoy horseback riding, riding a bike, create the opportunity to do this. Just get outdoors and travel. Break out of your routine. It may expose you to a new opportunity or a different outlook. You're also going to feel so much better after taking a break. So there's your permission. Go do something fun. Next card, be gentle with yourself. And again, we're looking at like the outcome of February. I don't know if anyone has spring break that early March. Oh, I love this one. A time of new birth and energy is upon you. Draw on the lessons you have learned to assist you in moving forward. Notice how you've grown and changed as a result of everything that has transpired. Gather information as you go. Be ready for new adventure. All signs are positive for successful outcomes at this time. Yes, we love that for the end of the month. And then the last card is laughter. Laughter breaks up stagnant energy, gets things moving, helps relax you, and is a powerful antidote to stress, pain, and conflict. Humor lightens your burdens, inspires hope, connects you to others, keeps you grounded, focused, and alert. Nothing works faster or more dependably to bring your mind and body back into balance than a good laugh. Oh, by the way, this is the Nature Whispers Oracle that I love. Okay, permission to laugh. And I've actually been thinking, I feel like there are no good funny shows and movies right now, like genuinely funny. There's a lot of like dark comedy, but I want just laugh out loud funny. If anyone has a recommendation, please send that to me. DM me on Instagram at the.highvibe.soul or send me an email because, yeah, I would love that. All right, so that's your energy update for February. It's not what I expected. It might not be what you expected, but it's exactly what we need. So let me know how it lands. Let me know how it goes as February progresses, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the High Vibe Soul podcast. Your support means the world to me. So if you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, subscribe, and share with a loved one. Sign up for my newsletter and receive 2 free high vibe meditations straight to your inbox. And for more ways to work with me, click the links in the show notes. I would love to hear from you, so send me a message on my Instagram at the.highvibe.soul, and I'll see you next time.